What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Season 7, Episode 13. Let's talk about Chloe and Johnny. First, let's get this camera together. Okay, Chloe and Johnny. So, Chloe's mom and Johnny go for a jog. The mother wanted to talk to Johnny one on one without Chloe being there because she has some things to address to Johnny. So, how she wanted to talk about Johnny's infidelity because remember, Chloe had told her mom that in the beginning of their relationship, Johnny had told her that he was going to go hang out with the guys or go on a guys trip, and he ended up going to Miami with a female. I don't remember exactly how Chloe ended up finding out. Oh, she said she found out through pictures on the internet. And I remember thinking when she said that, if he was really cheating and trying to do something behind her back, why were there pictures on the internet? Did she know the girl and the girl posted the pictures and Chloe saw it on her social media? Or did Johnny post the pictures himself? You know, like he had no shame in his game that he was in Miami with this girl because he really wasn't with Chloe like that. So there was a lot of stuff that I felt like Chloe left out or that they edited out. Because if I was the mom, I would have been asking a bunch of questions like, how did you know that he was in Miami? If they're posting pictures, who was posting pictures? Whose social media was it? I would really want to know exactly how she knew about this trip to Miami, but that's neither here nor there. So the mother tells Johnny that, Chloe told me that you cheated on her in the beginning of your relationship, and that's just unacceptable. And Johnny tells the mom that it happened before him and Chloe were locked in, before they really committed to each other. So the relationship wasn't even that serious that early on. So the mom didn't believe Johnny. She didn't think that at all. She felt like they were in a serious relationship and Chloe had her heart broken because this guy cheated on her. So the mom was not buying Johnny's story that this was early on in their relationship and they really were not that committed to each other at the time. She tells him that she's really scared to leave Chloe behind because he might cheat on her again. And he tells her that now me and Chloe are pretty much locked in. We are in a serious committed relationship and I would never do that to her now. So Johnny tells us in his confession, which I'm not sure. Okay, I know why he didn't tell the mom face to face. Either it wasn't true or he still is wanting to protect Chloe. But in his confessional, he tells us that at that time when he was with Miss Miami, Chloe was also seeing somebody else. They were both seeing other people at that time because the relationship was still new. They were still trying to, figure things out. So he was like, but I'm not going to tell her mom that, I wish he would have, because I think the mom, she's just a little bit, something about the mom, she's a nice woman and all, and she's very protective of her daughter, and she loves her daughter very, very, very much, and she will do anything for Chloe. That's a given. But I think something about the mom is also like a bit manipulative, where she would do whatever needed to be done to get Chloe away from Johnny. Like she would cross all kinds of boundaries, do all kinds of manipulative things if it meant that she could get Chloe back in Boston with her and away from Johnny, which to me, I think it's wrong. I don't know if Johnny is right for Chloe or not. That is something for Chloe to find out. And with her being an adult, she's going to find out one way or the other whether or not Johnny is worth her time. And we all go through that. We all go through this. We all go through breakups and broken hearts and whatever. We all go through it. So the mom needs to understand that she really can't protect her daughter like that. So I don't know if she's trying to protect Chloe from a broken heart or if she's just one of those very controlling parents who's like, I don't really give a damn. I need her back home in Boston with me so I can keep an eye on her and I can run her life the way I want it to go. Maybe that's what she's more like. But anyway, so Johnny didn't want to tell Chloe's mom that, Chloe was seeing someone else too at the time that I was in Miami with this other chick. I guess he's still either, like I said, either protective of Chloe or it's not true. That's why he didn't tell the mom face to face, because the mom probably would have grilled him or the mom would have been putting dates together to figure out if Chloe really was seeing someone else at that time, because I think at that time Chloe and her mom were living together. So Johnny says, okay, blah, blah. So the mom asks him for reassurance. She's like, you need to promise me that you're going to take care of my little girl, that you're not going to hurt her, and that I can trust you. And of course, he promises that, but the mom really doesn't trust Johnny. She says to us in her confessional, and she tells us, once a cheater, always a cheater. So she has no trust in Johnny at all. So now it's time for the mom to return back home to Boston. And while they're still at Johnny's house, getting things together, um, she gives Chloe an offer once again. She tells Chloe, look, I can book you a first class ticket back to Boston right now. And me and you can go home together right now. And Chloe's like, no, I'm staying here. I'm not going back to Boston. So now they're at the airport, right? Chloe, Johnny, and Chloe's mom. Now they're at the airport, and the mom again she tries to convince them to go back to Boston, or basically try to bribe them to go back to Boston, because she's offering them positions at her company to work for her company. So she gives them another one last final offer to return back home with her, and they both tell her no. So I think that the reason why she's offering Johnny to come back as well and offering Johnny a job with her company, I think she's just using Johnny as a lure to lure Chloe back to Boston. And then once everything is settled in Boston, her mom is going to find a reason to fire Johnny from the family company and send him back to Aruba. That's what I think. I think she's just using Johnny to try to lure Chloe back, but it's not going to work. Chloe has told her mom a million times she's not going to go back to Boston. She does not want to be under her mother's rule. She doesn't want to, she wants to be free in Aruba or anywhere other than in Boston with her mother. She probably is extremely stifled by her mom. Her mom seems to be very, very, very controlling. And her mom just seems like a very controlling type of woman who wants things to go her way and wants her daughter to live the kind of life that she wants her to live and wants her to be with the kind of man that she wants her to be with. That's how her mom comes off to me. So, they both were like, no, we're not going to go back to Boston. We're not going to do it. So I don't know what's going on in real life right now with Chloe and Johnny. I have no clue. So mom is back home in Boston, and Chloe and Johnny are doing their thing in Aruba. Moving on to Greta and Matthew. Every time I see Greta, when her segment comes out, I'm instantly catapulted into like a deep, dark depression. I swear to God, Greta brings me down. I don't think I've ever had a fun moment watching Greta. Just it's always doom and gloom with her. So Greta, remember when Greta they were at the apple orchard, and feeding the pigs and whatever, and Greta had brought up the fact that she doesn't want children. She told Matthew that she no longer wanted to be a parent, and that he should go on and find someone who wants to have kids with him, because he'll make a fantastic father, and she doesn't want to take that away from him, and that she's pretty much made up her mind that she no longer wants to have kids. Yes, she did want kids at one time. Matthew even tells us that they had picked out names for all of their children. And I was like, how many kids y'all going to have? But he said that they had picked out names for all of their children. They were like really into the whole thing of becoming parents and having kids and all of that. So he was kind of blindsided by her now saying, yeah, I'm not interested in that anymore. I don't want to be a parent. Kids are going to get in the way of what I need to do to advocate for animal rights. So that's her passion. That's her thing, is to be an animal rights advocate, and the kids are just going to get in the way. And he even was like, look, you don't even have to raise them. Just have them. Just have them for me. Just pop out some kids for me. I will be a full-time dad. I will do all that needs to be done. As far as raising them, you're never going to have to worry about them. Hey, if you don't even want to see them, you don't even have to see them. I'll hide them from you when you come home from work. So he even offered her that, and she was still like, no, no, yeah, I'm not doing any of that. I don't want kids at all. So now I'm watching them, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Because now she's having a conversation with her friend on FaceTime, and she's telling her friend that there's no connection between her and Matthew, and it started when she was studying for the bar. So when she was studying for the bar, they were still doing the long distance relationship, and the bar was taking up so much of her time. Studying for the bar was taking up so much of her time that she couldn't even give him any attention at all whatsoever. She was studying 8 to 10 hours a day, so she had to put him on ice while she was concentrating on passing the bar. And that kind of started the disconnect, because after the bar was done and she passed and all of that, that spark never really came back. So now she's in England with him, hoping that if they are in a, face-to-face relationship, some of that spark could come back. And still she's struggling. So she's telling her friend that she still has lost the connection. She doesn't feel the spark. She even goes as far as to say that even the sex is flat, like uncarbonated soda, flat, no flavor. And I was like, Greta, honey, I know that's some juicy tea for us, but that is something that I think you really should have kept to yourself. That's just like way too personal and way too private to talk about how your fiance, his sex game is flat. But anyway, so her friend pretends to cry, like she was like dabbing, she was like just dabbing at the corner of her eye, and she was like, Greta, you're breaking my heart, because I love Matthew, he's such a great guy, but you deserve something better. If this is how you feel, then you deserve something better. So I guess that's the push that she needed to sit down and have a serious conversation with Matthew. So the next time that we see Greta, she's I guess at the parents' house, and she's fixing shepherd's pie, a vegan shepherd's pie. That's going to be the breakup meal. So he comes home from work and she's like in turmoil, right? She's crying, she's sniffling, and he obviously sees it. And so they're sitting down, they're eating, and he's like, okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. What is going on? What are all the tears for? And I think at that moment he knew. I think he knew what was coming. But anyways, and so she starts the whole breakup speech, that the typical breakup speech. If you've ever broken up with somebody, you've used this speech before. The whole thing about I love you. I'm not. No, she didn't say that. She says you're great. You're wonderful. You're fantastic. Um, really pumping him up, making him feel like, it's not anything about you, but the feelings are just not there anymore. And she actually tells this man, I don't love you anymore, which I'm glad that she did. I'm glad that she was upfront and honest. I don't think she was upfront and honest when she told him that she didn't want to have kids. I think she was using the kid thing. Maybe she really doesn't want to have kids. I don't know. But I think she was using the kid thing as an excuse to break up with him. She thought that if she told him she no longer wanted to have children, that he would be the one to break up with her. That he would have been like, well, having kids is extremely important to me, so I can't be with you if you don't want to have children. That's what she was hoping for. But he did that Uno reverse on her, and he told her later on, he told her, look, if you don't want to have kids, I don't want to have kids. That's fine with me. We don't have to have kids because I still really want to be with you. I don't want to lose you. And when she realized, okay, well, that's not going to work, that's where she had to like be honest with him and tell him straight up, I don't love you no more. Now, I'm glad that she did that, because if she would have, because, he thought that the issue was the kid thing. So he got rid of that obstacle. It was like, okay, I don't want to have kids. We don't have to have children. Let's just be me and you. It's a good thing that she didn't take him up on that offer, because if she would have stayed with him, he would have really resented her. Whether they had kids or not, he would have resented, well, if they didn't have kids, he would have resented her. No matter if he acted like it was a great idea or not, he would have definitely resented her if they would have stayed together and he had to give up having kids to keep her. So in that sense, I'm happy that she told him straight up, I don't want to be with you. I don't love you no more. It's painful, to see someone get broken up with, to see someone's heart get broken. It's difficult to watch, but it has to be done. And I'm glad that she was honest with him. Moving on to Mano and Anthony. So when we see Anthony, he's at the city, the town square, I guess. I don't know what it's called. He's at the town square and he's getting lessons from a mime. So there's a mime there that's teaching him how to mime. And I was like, that's interesting that you have to be taught how to. I know it's an art. It's a real art you have to have, talent for. You have to learn how to do it properly. But you would think it'd be kind of easy to act like you're stuck in a box. So he's taking these lessons from the mime because what he wants to do is he wants to surprise Mano with this, cute, funny little mime act because he says that ever since they've arrived in France, it has been so heavy and serious. They've been stressed out, struggling, trying to figure out what the hell to do with their lives as a couple, as a family. And it's just been too stressful. So he wants to lighten the mood a little bit and make her laugh. And he thinks it's cute and romantic and all this and that. So he tells her to meet him at the town square. She has no idea what she's about to encounter. So she shows up with Ben, and she sees her husband dressed like a damn mime with the makeup on his face and everything. And typical Mano fashion, she was pissed. She didn't like it. She was shocked. She was upset. She's like, what the hell is this? What are you doing? What the F are you doing? That's exactly what she said. And he was like, I just wanted to make you laugh. I thought it'd be cute and funny. And she was like, well, you don't understand me. Then you don't know me. I don't find that cute. That is not my idea of being cute and funny or romantic. So she didn't like it. And she told him so. And the mime that was teaching him how to mime, she was like getting secondhand embarrassment. Okay. She was getting secondhand embarrassment when she saw how Mano went off on this poor guy just because he wanted to make her laugh a little bit. I didn't think these people were serious about living in France, but I saw somewhere on her social media, she says that they are still there. After they were done filming and everything, they are still in France. I'm actually shocked about that. I thought this whole Mano and Anthony thing was there for like comic relief. I thought they were going to France, get involved in some shenanigans because they were pretending to look for a house. They were pretending that they're going to get a goat farm. He's pretending to want to be a mime. All of these things that they're doing, they're not even serious about any of it. So I thought they were on this show just to be like the entertainment for this season. But they're still living in France. So I guess it's really serious for them being there because I have yet to see them do anything really serious. Everything is like funny and jokey and like he really thought Mano wanted to live on a goat farm. Like he knew that wasn't going to go well. And the house thing, anyways, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't know what's going on with Mano and Anthony, but they are not serious at all about any of this, in my opinion. Moving on to Dylan and Patia. So they're out camping. Okay. They're out camping and, Dylan knows that Patia is not really into the whole outdoorsy thing, but she's trying to be a good sport about it. And she ended up having a good time, actually, until his mother called. So they're out there in the middle of nowhere, and his mother is calling him. And he answers the phone, and he talks to her for a few minutes. And Patia is pissed. She's frustrated because he's talking to his mom. Now, Patia tells us that his mother calls every single day. Every single day his mother calls, and it gets on her damn nerves because she says, you are 40 years old. Why are you always checking in with your mom? I see nothing wrong with him checking in with his mom or the mom checking in on him. I see nothing. Look, I watch a lot of true crime, a lot more than what's normal. I watch a ton of true crime. I see nothing wrong with family members checking in on each other daily. If it's like a quick little conversation, hey, how you doing? How's it going? What are you up to today? Oh, okay. That sounds like fun. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow, son. Bye. There's nothing wrong with that, Patia. Relax. Now, if he's on the phone with his mom, they're talking to each other 10 times a day and the conversations are lasting an hour each. Yeah, we have a problem. But I don't think it's like that. I think the mom just likes to check in on her son. His girlfriend has arrived in Australia and, she just wants to make sure everything is going. I see nothing wrong with it. I need her to relax. Okay, I need her to relax. Or watch a couple of true crime documentaries and you'll see nothing wrong with the mother checking in on her son. So I need Patia to chill out just a little bit. Moving on to Luke and Madeline. Y'all, what is the temperature in Colombia? I need to know. What the hell is the temperature in Colombia? Because every time I see Luke and Madeline, they are furred up. Okay, fur coats, mink coats, whatever it is. And I'm trying to understand what the hell is going on. Because Luke was wearing fur coats in LA. I understand you want to make a fashion statement and you feel like this is your signature look, but it doesn't make any sense if it's 95 degrees outside. What is the temperature in Colombia? Anywho, so they finally made it to their destination because they're going to be getting married this weekend, right? And so they made it to wherever they need to be for their wedding. And Luke tells us that he needs to have a come to Jesus moment with Madeline. He needs to have a serious conversation with her about the direction of their relationship and exactly where the hell is it going. So in their fur coats, they're laying in bed. They just arrived. And he tells her that ever since he's arrived in Colombia, they've been arguing like crazy. All they do is argue, fuss, and fight. And it makes him wonder if they're even right for each other. So when he questions the future of their relationship, Madeline gets serious, okay? And she's probably thinking in her head, I'm about to lose this man. I don't know why she doesn't want to lose him. That man doesn't have that much money. So I don't know if she's with him for the money. I don't know if she's with him because she really loves him, because it doesn't seem like she really loves him. I don't know why she was afraid of letting him go. But all of a sudden, Madeline got real serious and she was like, yes, I understand. I haven't been treating you right. I haven't been appreciating you, but you have to understand where I'm coming from. And she talks about her very traumatic upbringing. Her mom was only 16 years old when she had Madeline. So I guess her mother really wasn't there as a mother figure. I think she was raised by an aunt or a grandmother, I think. Another relative raised her primarily. Her and her mom are good now, but it kind of seems like either the relationship is a bit distant or they're more like friends or sisters and mother and daughter. And she talks about how her dad was not in the picture. And she talks about how when she was getting into relationships, all of these men were just constantly cheating on her, disrespecting her, not valuing her as a woman. So she's come from a very traumatic past. And so after she pours her whole heart out to him, of course he can't break up with her now. So he's just like, okay, well, yeah, so let's make this weekend a fresh start. So let's give it a go again and let's just start all over. Let's start with a clean slate, start from square one, and we'll go from there. So I guess they're going to try again. Who the hell knows? And technically, who the hell cares? Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.